is live already. Hello, hello. Unless something has gone terribly wrong, this should be live right now. Judging by my record, something probably has gone terribly wrong. It's just like how it is sometimes, where like ridiculous, unlikely stuff just sort of happens each time. But you know what? Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. So let's just wait for it to buffer to make sure that, like, it's actually working properly and I'm not just talking into the void. This is taking a surprisingly long time. It's saying I've been streaming for 40 seconds and it's still loading. It is sometimes. I got like a second of it loaded and then it buffered. Ridiculous, unlikely stuff just. Well, alrighty, the stream has actually loaded this time. That is good. So a few things. Firstly, you may have noticed there is some music going on in the background. It's super quiet for reasons I don't know, maybe it just faded out or something. It was louder earlier, but I'm worried that if I turn it up right now, the next song will be super loud and blast out everyone's eardrums. And then secondly, the title, Answering Questions Nobody Asked. I realized that I had no clue what to be saying while I was live. So I was like, I haven't got any people to ask me questions, but I can bring up a website to ask me questions. And since nobody asked them, it's just a website answering questions nobody asked. So, that is the next however long of my time here. Just digging cobblestone and answering questions nobody asked. So alrighty. I think before we start going anywhere, in terms of actual cobblestone mining, I'm just going to go until we get up to like a full 9, I don't know, maybe a whole 9 stacks, just because like I keep running out and it's getting annoying, so yep. Alrighty, the first question from Nobody Asked is, if you could have any animal for a pet, what would it be? And, well, this is an easy one because I already have a pet. She's a really nice dog, so I'd keep my dog. I wouldn't just, like, do some weird Pokemon trade and just turn my dog into a hamster or something. And I'm just going to set this up to go and... what's the word? Exchange questions every 3 minutes. So, while we're digging, just every now and then we'll get some interesting new question. And I do need to turn down the Minecraft sound here. It is doing bad things to my eardrums. So, alrighty. Now this is definitely going to take a while. I guess I should probably just start telling stories about Coconut, since I probably shouldn't have said that name, but you know what, sure, why not? Anyways, I'm going to start just telling random stories about my dog because I've got nothing better to do. So let's see. What sort of funny things has she done? Oh yeah, we've got a bit of... Actually, I can't say that. That would probably dox myself. So, let's see, what can I say about her that wouldn't just leak my location? Oh, she's really got a... Can I say that? Okay. I think a lot of dogs probably do this, but she really likes to go and chase after bunnies and squirrels. So, like, we'll just be going on a walk, and then she'll stop, and we'll be trying to figure out why she stopped. And then she's just staring intently at the small grey lump off in the distance. And she will just go and she will slowly sneak up to it. She'll take like 15 minutes, slowly putting one paw in front of the other, getting closer. And then it's usually my dad who's actually got the leash at this point. So then at some random point, she will decide that it is time to go and make a break for the bunny and try to catch it or whatever. She never does. But she will just go and sprint with like all the force she can put into her muscles and just make a very good attempt at removing the arm of whoever is holding the leash. So like, the theory here is that if this goes on for long enough, eventually my dad's arms will just end up being like 2 inches longer because the bones have stretched out or something. I doubt that'll actually happen, but it would be very funny. Wait, I can make a diamond pickaxe now. That's nice. Anyways, and then with squirrels, she's even better with squirrels, because what'll happen, she'll see a squirrel in a tree. It'll be like, oh, it's one of those darn squirrels. I want to go and get it down from that tree. So she'll sit at the base and like jump up on the tree, like stick her paws up on the side of it and bark and try to get it down. And if it doesn't come down, well, she'll just wait, and she'll make us wait, and she'll go like, just wait for the squirrel. And we always eventually make her leave, but she doesn't want to leave, she gets really annoyed about it. And then the best part, when we walk by the same place again for like weeks after, she'll want to stop at the exact same tree and thoroughly search it to make sure there aren't any squirrels hiding up it. Like, she remembers where they are, and goes out of her way to check if there are any chaseable squirrels. Alright, the next question that nobody asked. If you had to stream only one video game, what would it be? Take a guess on that one. Take a guess. I only ever have streamed one video game, just why don't you take a bit of a guess and figure out what single game it is? Yeah, it's obviously Minecraft. I think, like, at this point, just thinking about me playing Minecraft, I'm actually like, I don't think of myself as being an original Minecraft player, but I actually kind of am, because I've been playing since like 1.5, and my impression now is that like 50% of current Minecraft players have started playing since 1.13 or newer. And like, in my head, all the versions starting from 1.13 are like those darn newfangled updates with their newfangled sea turtles and their newfangled wardens and whatnot. So it's like, I'm doing the very old man opinion on them. But there are people who like don't remember a time before then because they were not even playing the game. Then for me, I'm going like, back in my day, I remember when achievements were shared across all you worlds and you could only get them once on your account. And like, that kind of nonsense. That's like, just all this random weird stuff that used to be a thing, that if you say to any new player, like, they're probably just going to OK boomer you. So, yeah, I'm certifiably a Minecraft boomer now. You know, every time I talk about old people, my mind just immediately goes, hey, you know what old people means? Old people doesn't mean all the old people. There's only one old person, and that's Philza. So hey, why don't you talk about Philza now? Hey Kevin, you should definitely talk about Philza. Like, hey, you know, you talking about old people, this guy's old, right? Like, 30-something, that's old. Is he even I don't know if he's even in his 30s yet. He could be like 28 and they just call him old. Oh, here's a cave. Wait, oh, I almost... Actually, it wouldn't have mattered even. Wait, is my inventory... Okay, that's surprising. My inventory's full. Oh, is there anything useful around here? Nope. Already, I guess I've got to go drop stuff off in those chests. Since the last stream, I've done a small amount of work. Like, I went in and decided that one chest was the redstone chest, and I put redstone in it. I haven't labeled them. I haven't even, like, decided how I'm going to label them. But I do have a redstone chest now. I might just rely on memory of, like, what chest is for what thing, because that would be kind of funny. That, like... And also just, it is annoying to... What's the word? It is annoying to figure out where you could stick signs or something, or like other ways I could label it, because like if I removed blocks on the floor and put in new blocks as labels, like a redstone block through the redstone chest, then that would show through underneath the bottom of the platform. You can't put signs on chests in this version. Like shift right clicking doesn't work. It's all just kind of awkward. So I might actually just do the thing where I like don't decide on how to label it and just do do this. Anyways, this one's my cobblestone chest now. Alrighty. Anyways, next question. Have you ever dreamed on dinosaurs? Does that mean like... I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean like just sort of like wanted to see dinosaurs or something? Like, or just literally had dinosaurs in your dreams? I think, really? I don't think so. A surprising number of people actually do have like these either whole dinosaur phases or just still like dinosaurs. But for some reason, I don't think I ever really had that phase, unless it was just when I was 3. So, I really haven't dreamed of dinosaurs in any significant way. Right, this one here is going to be my assorted junk chest now. Anyways, wait, should I? I'm not going to stick that in there. You know, I've checked, and you actually can't chuck eggs in this version. I think that might just be a multiplayer bug, but it's still kind of funny that just chucking eggs, not a thing. Okay, it came up with a new question. If you had to change the name of your father, what would you change it to? So we've all... Well... Let me think on that. Assuming we're going through silly answers here, why don't we say something like, how about Hobart Hampton? That's the new father name. Just... Alright, imagine this. New, like, Hollywood movie or something. There's some random guy, like, the protagonist, and just this random person comes up to them. You can't tell if they're, like, a used car salesman or a very important Hollywood talent agent. They're clearly one of the two, but you don't know which. And you ask their name. Their name is Hobart Hampton. And, like, the name just matches that description, I feel like. And then you just... they recreate that Star Wars scene. And Hobart Hampton comes up to you and goes like, I am your father. And then you just sort of, like, look around and back off slowly because why on earth is somebody talking to you in that voice? It's just weird. But, you know, like, does that not just feel like the plot of a top-tier movie? Hobart Hampton, the suspicious alleged father? In terms of actual father, I don't feel like I can say anything about him without giving away excessive information. because I do actually want to not get doxxed. Wait, are you sunrise, daylight, twilight, or nighttime? Why? If that means sleep schedule, it's very nighttime. I have actually like an inverted sleep schedule. Like, I wake up in the middle of the afternoon right now, and I go to bed a little bit after sunrise. I don't really know why, I just can't make myself go to bed earlier. So now I have this. So I get scenes where I'm like, I'll go up at, who even knows, 6 in the morning, talk to my dad about some interesting math problem, and then a few minutes later I'm just off going to bed. Like, it feels like I should be waking up at that point, but no, it's just the exact opposite. Alright. Really? You know that, thinking about it, for me personally, this extreme of a sleep schedule is unusual. But I think in terms of like, if you ever see any actual content creators like Pearl Jacobs or Who Not online, 50% of them just have identical sleep schedules to that, where it's just completely backwards. Like, for no apparent reason. So, right, what this tells me is that since I have a horribly bodged sleep schedule, I'm clearly destined to become an epic gamer. Okay, I can't seriously call myself an epic gamer, that's just daft. Alright. Let's see. What else is there to talk about with this? You know, let's talk about the weather. The weather is my favorite thing to talk about. But actually, like, that sounds silly, but, like, the weather can actually, in my opinion, be a decent thing to talk about. Because, like, just in terms of, oh, it's sunny today, that's not interesting. But, like, it can actually be really just pleasant to look at visually. And there are different times of the day where like, I have a collection of different times of day that I think are just nice, pretty looking, basically. So it's like, sort of the evening right around sunset is just, it's like a pleasant time to be outside. I'm not often outside at that point, just because of mosquitoes. They're just everywhere. But, like, other than that, it is nice. And conveniently, I've developed the ability to just ignore cold temperatures a lot of the time. So in the winter, when all the mosquitoes are dead, I'm like the one person who can tolerate being outside. So then I get to appreciate it. And then, I think, like, the most, like, my favorite kind of weather to behold... Oh, that's lava. My favorite kind of weather to actually, like, behold is... Wait, why can't I place what? But my favorite kind of weather to look at, it's, like, in the middle of winter, like, around... Maybe it's not completely dark, but around, like, close to being completely dark, like, around sunrise and sunset. And then you already get a, like, really nifty sort of, like, the atmosphere of, like, it's just, in my opinion, the atmosphere of a chilly, cool evening or night is just nice. But then, if you make it so it's snowing, like flurries of snow going by, so you can only see, like, a block away, or like a half block or something. Like, no, actually, more snow than that. That is just so nifty, it feels like being in a work of art. Anyways. Well, actually, I'm going to keep going. It's just like... It's so cool in that situation because, like, really it does feel like being inside some art because it's like you can look off down outside the back of your house and just see off in the distance, like, well, it's all dark and grey and gloomy, like this grey-blue sheen of snow. And then, like, you look a bit farther, and out of this, like, poetic desolation, basically, you get these houses off in the distance with their own orange glows just barely reaching you through the snow. And, like, it just completely feels like it's out of a poem. Like, I'm not good at poetry, otherwise I would have written a poem about it. Anyways, next question. What would you do with $1 million? Realistically, I wouldn't want to spend all of it, because then you go from having $1 million to not having $1 million. Oh, here's another of these. Here's another cursed torch. I'm just going to... Ah, come on. Right? So, like, just spending all of it would be daft, because then you no longer have $1 million. If I could think of a way to invest it into something I liked, like content creation or something, and make a profit, like, not be worried about losing all of it in a failed investment, I would do that. But I don't think I know how I could invest that sort of money into, like, doing something I liked as a business without losing all of it. So realistically, I'd probably just, like, open some investing retirement account thing with Fidelity or whoever does that, and just stick all of it in there, and just let it earn compound interest and go on living normally. Like, maybe I'd take a small amount out of it monthly just so I didn't have to be scared of not having food if I wasn't able to make money, but I'd just leave most of it to, like, turn into future money and, like, retirement. Since, like, I've talked to a few people who are fairly old now and getting close to retirement, and my impression is that generally, if you can get, like, it sounds like $2 to $3 million sounds like a lot, but, you know, in terms of making, like, interest, it kind of isn't, but it's enough, I have heard, to have a fairly safe retirement. So realistically, if you start with $1 million, and you're, like, still super young, you have multiple decades of compound interest, hopefully what would happen there is that it would compound enough that, like, boom, free retirement, and then you just do whatever you want the rest of your life without being scared of retirement. Alright. Next question. Oh, I will say, I do know that's, like, the most vanilla answer to that question ever, but sometimes vanilla answers make sense. And also going along with my brand of basically just being a boomer in a young person's body, I feel like that's the stereotypical boomer thing to do, to just save all the money you get. Anyways, next question. Would you go to TwitchCon? I really have no clue what TwitchCon is, other than a conference relating to a convention relating to Twitch. So at present, with zero knowledge of it, probably not, since I just feel super cheesy going to a convention relating to, like, basically professional video games playing. Like, I feel like the only way that I wouldn't just feel horribly cheesy doing that would be, like, if I were to go in and... Wait, no. I feel like the only way I wouldn't just feel super cheesy doing that would be if I were, like, actually a big streamer on Twitch. So I was like, hey, this is where I get my living. It makes sense to go to this convention, that's the word. I keep mixing up convention and conference since they both start with con, and they're both places where people meet up to do things. But they're different enough that they aren't really interchangeable, so I just keep making that same, like, kind of awkward mistake there. Like, ah yes, Twitch conference. Let us all attend seminars about Twitch. Alright, is Justin Bieber talented? I know two things about Justin Bieber. One, that he chucked eggs at some person's fancy French waltz a long time ago. And two, that he made Despacito. And I guess three, that he was fairly young when he got popular with music. So basically, all I know, he got popular with his music at a young age. Going from that and that alone, I would say yes, he probably is talented. Like, not everyone, probably, could just, like, start making music and do that well. And you'd probably have to have at least some level of skill to make music people will tolerate listening to. So, like, going off that, I would say yes. But, I mean, this isn't really about Justin Bieber, I guess. It's more just like, with any sort of thing, like, if you're good enough at anything to be super well known for it, you're probably talented in that thing. But my definition of talented would be that it's easier for you to do than other people. Which is a bit of a silly definition, but from what I can tell it's accurate. Like, whenever someone refers to me as being talented in something, it's specifically because I have an easier time doing it than other people. So, like, for me, programming, I'm not a professional level programmer, but I'm, like, capable of writing. But, okay, I thought it was just going to be booming forever. But, like, I'm capable of writing acceptable code for most things I want code to be written for. And for most people, my impression is that, like, most people basically view code as hieroglyphics. Like, something beyond mortal comprehension. And so for me, since it's not beyond mortal comprehension, like, even if I don't write super good code all the time, I can write code at all. In some people's eyes, that makes me talented. So therefore, in the same way, I think music would probably be pretty hard for me. But apparently it's not for Justin Bieber, therefore he is probably talented in that. You know, I'm just writing, like, full Reddit-level essays for each of these answers. Like, I do suppose it's a bit silly. But the thing is, like, if I shortened my answers, I would feel like I was not giving, like, I would feel like my thoughts were not accurately represented on the matter, and it would just annoy me. Anyways, next question. Can you speak any other languages? In terms of, like, actual, like, being able to use them, easy no, I cannot. In terms of, like, little bits, I'm German. My parents know some amount of German from having been there for a while at one point, and so I know a small number of German words from them. So, like, we've got stuff like, just, actually, should I say that? No, that joke would be a bit too rude to say. Alright. Anyways, but we've just got a few random things, like, I know maybe a half dozen phrases, like, just NEIN! But apparently Germans have a tendency to talk like that sometimes. Terms and conditions apply, not all Germans, not in all situations. Some Germans in some situations. Please don't cancel me. Like, oh, for goodness sakes, I'm on fire again. But it's like, they like, what am I don't even remember where I was going with what I was saying. Huh. Well, either way, Anyways, otherwise, in terms of languages, I have kind of studied Japanese, but I wasn't anywhere near consistent with it, so I only know, like, a tiny bit. Like, for example, if you just show me some random text, I can't read it. Just about 60 to 70% of it is just complete. I have no clue what's going on. But the, like, 20 to 30% of words, that being the, like, super common words that I can read, are enough to impress anyone who I'm talking to, so... I think people think I'm better at Japanese than I actually am. I only have a fairly beginner-level knowledge of it. Like, I can't form proper sentences in it. Like, I could guess at what the right thing to say would be, but it would probably come out super awkward. Like... Yeah, just... that's that. Right. The next question up. If you could only drink one thing besides water for the rest of your life, what would you choose? What things do I even... The thing is, like, going on with my old person arc, I don't drink much besides water. Like, in the last month, drinks I have had, water, carbonated water, mango juice, like, I haven't even had tea or coffee recently. I don't drink coffee at all, but I haven't been in the mood for tea. I've had chai, but, like, that would suck to drink. Alright, with this question, if carbonated water is allowed as an answer, I would take that. Because, like, you know, I feel like maybe it's different enough from water to count as an answer, and the only inconvenience would be that you have to deal with the carbonation, which is, you know, a bit uncomfortable to drink lots of it. But if that wasn't allowed, I'd have to go down some route like milk, mango juice, like any of those other things. I feel like you wouldn't really want to only be drinking that, because it feels like milk residue or mango juice residue would just sort of accumulate in your mouth, and it would just be a really unpleasant experience. It's like, I read a book a really long time ago. I think it might have even been like an elementary school read aloud, where this kid like ate a chocolate coin or something, and it made it so that everything they ate turned into chocolate. But that included the water, so like he was only able to drink chocolate milk. It was just like a horrible experience because his mouth was always full of chocolate milk residue, and he couldn't even rinse it out with water because the water turned into chocolate milk. So, like, I feel like anything other than water or carbonated water would just suck to be constantly drinking. Anyways, what is your biggest pet peeve? Oh, this is an easy one. People, like, going in and rearranging my stuff without asking. Or, like, just going... well, basically just that, yeah. Because I tend to have things, like, organized in groups based on, like, projects, basically. So, say I have 5 stacks of papers. Maybe one relates to YouTube, one relates to streaming, one relates to some weird math I'm doing for the sake of it. And, like, I don't know, one's just me, I don't know, doing some novice world building because I'm bored. But, like, then someone comes in and goes like, oh, I saw that you had a bunch of different stacks of papers around and it was taking up space. So, without asking or telling you, I went in and combined them all into one stack in this box. And now it's like, I don't even know what paper goes with what project. It sounds like it should be obvious, but sometimes it just isn't. Like how things are organized. Like, there's a weird amount of stuff that you can't really tell what project it belongs to other than it being in the same pile. And then it's like, well, these 5 different projects are now 60% slower because I can't find all the papers for them. And then it gets even worse when it goes from like 5 projects to 15 or just random things like having a charger next to a computer because I know I'm going to need to charge it soon. And then that charger gets put in this horrible bin full of all the chargers in the house. You just have to like go dumpster diving through that bin, basically just to find the charger that used to be right near your computer. Like, it feels to me like it's, oh, we're getting this bug again where you mine something and it turns into a different block. But like, to me, this is actually just my mom I'm talking about, which is very stereotypical parent-child relationship, like organizing stuff. But like, what to her she calls organization, to me feels like sacrificing the ability to properly understand how things are organized for them looking organized. Which, I don't know. Realistically, we probably just think about things differently. Like, that's not really a matter of one of us being right. So, the annoying thing with that is that there is no conclusion. We just, like, have to accept that that's how it is, that we'll always disagree on that, most likely. Anyways, have you ever purchased Bitcoin? I have not. I don't really have money, and even if I did, like, if I wanted to gamble it, I'd just straight up go gamble it in some online app or something. Like, I don't want to put it in any amount of money in Bitcoin and just, like, sort of hope that it eventually goes up. Since, like, have you seen the price graphs of these things, like cryptocurrencies and NFTs and whatnot? Like, the price graphs are like, you take a seismometer, the thing that reads an earthquake, and during an earthquake you look at the readings, and you know how, like, seismometer readings are just these terrifying up and down jagged lines? Like, that is how the price of cryptocurrencies is determined. It's attached to those graphs. And you know what? I do not want the stress of just, like, hoping that the price goes up and I don't lose tons of money. So, yeah, that is why I do not purchase Bitcoin. Okay, this... Wait. What are you seeing this? So, kids, you can mine cobblestone with a shovel. Oh, this is great. The cobblestone is turning into dirt as I'm mining it. Yeah, that is great. Okay. What's this music playing? It's like... Alright, I'm going to go check. It is Chrono Trigger Manoia Cathedral Remix. What I've got going right now, it's just, I googled, like, what is the name of the playlist? It is Relaxing Video Game Music Playlist. Because, like, I wanted something to fill the space other than my voice when I'm not talking. And anyways, a bit of a life hack. I feel cheesy calling it a life hack. An interesting... Oh, the inventory's full. But an interesting trick, like a useful trick, I learned from watching some interview with Tommy in it. It's like, use video game music for your streams and videos, because, like, it's not going to get copyright claimed. Because if a company copyright claims video game music, then nobody can upload videos of them playing that game. Like, all the Let's Plays will have the video game music in them. So if you upload something that isn't a Let's Play, but still has that video game music in it, you're probably safe. So, yeah, that is actually, like, really useful, because otherwise just trying to find music in, like, those royalty-free sites is a royal bother. I'm really appreciating right now how you just can't sprint in these old versions. You just get to walk straight back. Right, next question. Do you consider yourself to be more extroverted or introverted? I've got two different answers to this that contradict each other. So, one way to interpret this is like, I tend to, like, trust people slowly and, like, not make tons of friends quickly. And, like, I'm usually not comfortable talking to people I don't really know. But at the same time, like, I do derive a solid 30% of my energy sometimes from interacting with other people. Like, actually just talking to people I know is a really nice experience. So I would say if I had to choose one, I would say extroverted, just because, like, trusting people slowly, I feel like isn't really the heart of the question. I feel like it's, do you gain or lose energy talking to people? And I would generally say gain if it's someone I like talking to. Obviously, if it's talking to someone you don't like talking to, that's always going to drain your energy. So, you know, that isn't really useful to say introverted or extroverted. It might lead to... You cannot... Oh yeah, I forgot, you can't shift-click in this version. Well, we've got a whole solid lump of cobblestone here. Well, we've got actually 2/3 of a double chest. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finally get around to making that bridge to the mainland that I was talking about yesterday. Since we've, like, got cobblestone to use now. Okay, would you ever get a face tattoo is the next question. My answer to that, well, ever? It's really impossible to tell what sort of a person I'll be, like, 40 years from now. Like, there just is no judging that. But if I was the same person I am now, it would be an easy no. Because I just am not the sort of person to get a tattoo. I don't want to have something like that permanently stuck on my skin. And also, honestly, I just don't really like the look of most tattoos very much. It's just... it doesn't line up very well with my sense of what looks nice. So with that, I would probably not get any tattoo, but especially a face tattoo, since that just, like, sounds uncomfortable, unpleasant. And then you've got something on your face. So, yep. But anyways, I can at least understand why other people would want to get them, because, like, if you actually like the idea, I can see it being a good way to express yourself. It's just that I don't like the idea of having ink stuck on my skin forever. Alright, let's see. Got a bridge here. I feel like I kind of want to keep this path going and make it like a boardwalk that runs around the side of the island to the fort over there. Either that or, like, make a tunnel through the island. I feel like what I should do is build a bit of a wall along here. Using, like, logs and cobblestone. Build a actual proper, like, sea wall. And then build a boardwalk along it. So that would be... Right, I'm going to start on that. I think I'll stick in one more support pillar, so that can go here. 1, 2, 3. Then down here. And then, alright. I'm thinking what I'll do, it'll just be a 90-degree left turn here, so something like this. And then I'm also going to knock out one extra layer of blocks along here just so it isn't quite as awkward of a cliff. So we start with something like this, and then just fill it in with slabs. And hopefully this looks nicer once it turns back into grass. And then we can just do a nice simple thing and like pull a 90-degree turn. Wait, Koozes. This isn't where I want the 90-degree turn, it's one like set of blocks to the right over here. So, I think... oh, I need a new shovel. So let's see. That would be... I need to move it 5 blocks forward. So, yeah, just... well, it's... why am I even bothering to narrate this? It's obvious what needs to be done here. I just need to dig it out and then the walkway. One... oh, the shovel just immediately breaks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knock out this middle bit. Yeah, it is good that I bothered to go right up this whole island, because, like, it is just quite a luxury to not be constantly getting creepy land on. Because, like, even if the creepers can't do actual health damage in this version, they definitely do have the ability to blow stuff up still. 1, 2, 3... wait, I made it... ah, Koozes, I dug it way too far back. Right, just ignore that. Oop. I think... is this even... yeah, this is right at least. So now we just fill out here, and this is where we make the 90-degree turn. Right, next question. Public speaking. Love it or hate it? If I had to choose just of a binary one of those two options, I would say I'm closer to love than hate, but, like, my actual opinion is, like, I don't have much of an opinion on public speaking. That's, like, I can do it. Really, the trick to public speaking I've found, just act confident and everyone will believe that you qualified to say what you're saying. So, like, if you just be paid, like, actually, what I do, I just decide what I'm saying beforehand for, like, school presentations or whatever. Just know what I'm going to say beforehand. Like, for a Google Slides presentation, I can even, like, I have that to help me. And then just write down a simple note card, like reminding me what to say each slide. Not a complete, like, literal script, just a list of points to get to. So, like, I can't think of examples off the top of my head, but just like you talking points for that part of the presentation. Then you say the things, and you go to the next bit, and just act like you know what you're doing. And, like, then you just, like, by the time you've made a full Google Slides presentation, you know most of the content already. So then, like, at that point, you just need to, like, practice 1 or 2 times, even, like, that much. And then, like, because you already know most of the content from having made the presentation, and because you have note cards to help you when you forget some of what your talking points are, like, just doing that, you can actually give a pretty impressive presentation. Just because, like, people are going like, oh my goodness, you do sound so confident, you even didn't need to check your note cards very much, and you weren't, like, constantly looking down at them or reading off the slides. Like, really, I think the thing here, the standards in high school are often surprisingly low. Like, it can feel like stressful, like you need to do a good job, and you do, but they're often weirdly low standards. You just need to prove that, like, you have a brain. So if you actually put in, like, any effort and just do what feels like basic quality, then half the time you've, like, just stunned everyone in the room just by, like, trying. So, life hack. If you actually try and use school assignments, depending on the class, it'll go well. There are definitely classes where the standards are higher than just, like, straight up trying at all. Especially, like, math and science classes. But from my experience with, like, the English and PE and whatnot, just... if you literally just try, and be careful not to spend too much time on it, because it's... like, alright, the only issue with that advice, it's really easy to misjudge the scope of an assignment and think you need to do more than you do, and then it gets stressful. But other than that, like, if you just straight up try and make it, like, turn in something that feels to you like it's good quality, you're usually safe. Like, the only thing with that is, like, from first-hand experience, sometimes the stuff you're doing is just hard, so, like, you can't, like, oh, just turn in something that's high quality. And, like, what classes are hard, it's different for different people. But, like, with those, as it turns out, I don't have advice for those because I have not figured out how to deal with them myself. So, yeah. Anyways, I've missed a few questions. The last one was, which cartoon character do you wish was real? I don't pay much attention to cartoons, actually. Like, it's been a pretty long time since I've thought much about cartoons. Like, I'm not the sort of person to just have, like, just randomly think, huh, I wish this or that was real, so it's actually hard to say. But, what cartoons even are they? Well, we'll skip to the next question. Have you ever been in a band? No. Right now we can get back to the last one without, like, getting behind. Cartoon characters that I wish were real. This is actually a hard question for me. Like, what? Yeah, I've got nothing. Like, the thing with cartoon characters is that, like, you think about them in the context of the real world, and suddenly it gets a bit awkward because, like, imagine SpongeBob in the real world, like, having to deal with an obnoxious manager or whatever, like, that just doesn't feel right. Like, mixing cartoons and reality. So, I'm definitely just overthinking it, but I really have not got any clue. And already, we're about an hour into the stream already, and it is getting to the time when it is kind of late, so... Well, it's not super late, and here's the thing, I haven't really got anything else that I would want to be doing. I just don't have much to do. And you know, since I changed up the format a bit and, like, added music and, like, questions to answer instead of me just trying to think of things to say, I am actually enjoying it this time. Like, compared to the last few, it was starting to get tiring. So, like, I've got nothing better to do, so I'm just going to keep going. Anyways, what sports did you play as a kid? I have never really liked sports, like... I think the closest I got to playing sports as a kid was like a really long time ago. My parents took me out to some big shop and we got a soccer ball. We still have the soccer ball, but like I didn't really do much with it. It was just like, huh, a ball. But like actually physically doing things just is not the most enjoyable to me. Like, you get these people who talk about like how it all feels so great to like exercise or whatever. Like, I kind of see it, but for me, exercise generally just feels like a means to an end, which is like better health. And like, the end is cool, but I just don't ever feel very fulfilled or anything like that from exercise. Like, I don't get that exercise high people talk about or whatever. So I just don't do much of that stuff. So, in terms of sports, basically nothing. Let's see. I think, yeah, like, oh, and it gets worse because, like, say, I started off not liking sports very much, but then what happens, now that I'm older, people sort of just assume that, like, everyone knows how to play all the sports. And I just didn't play many of them as a kid, because, like, I didn't enjoy them. So you end up with nonsense like in PE class, we had a week of basketball. So I spent an entire week of that class, just like an hour or however long a day, just like straight up pretending to know how to play basketball. But I think there are rules about possession of the ball or something, but like, I have no clue what they are. It's just like, ah yes, I definitely know how to do this. I definitely remember the basketball lessons we had at my elementary school, like, multiple years ago. Just, like, the only thing I remember is like, oh yes, there's something about possession. No clue what it is. You dribble the ball. You pass the ball. And then when you're chucking the ball, you do the thing where, like, you bounce the tips of your fingers on it and use them to chuck it forward. So, like... yeah. That's how you fake basketball. Right, next question. Are you a good dancer? This is another one of those questions where, like, the actual answer is just, like, a bunch of asterisks on each other. But, like, in terms of actual dancing, I've never taken lessons or anything. But, like, I can do some dance-related things. Like, every now and then I do something with it, and it's tolerable. Like, there was a point where we were, like, at my school, we were having to, like, lip-sync and dance to random songs and groups. Is just, like, a thing. A school bonding exercise, I think, basically. And, like, for whatever reason, I was not told what song we would be doing beforehand. And since I wasn't able to, like, I'm not a singer, I don't have any clue how to sing stuff, that made me in the dancing group. So I just had to, like, improvise a dance for 2 minutes and try not to get repetitive and try to make it look like I knew what I was doing. For some reason, people liked it. Like, the most bodged dancing I've ever done, zero preparation, just, like, trying to make it look like I knew what, like, how to dance to that song. I'd only heard the song, like, a single time beforehand. Somehow it worked! Somehow! Like, people liked it. Like, people actually liked it a lot. But it's just, like, it's completely silly. I mean, I guess maybe it's back to the thing of just, like, if you look like you know what you're doing, people will think you know what you're doing. Because, like, maybe I just did a good job of looking like I had a clue what I was doing with that dance and people just bought it. And like, I really do not get it. Right. Who was your childhood actor or actress crush? About that, this is going to sound odd, but like, none. None at all. Like, even recently, like, actors and actresses, like, I can't go too far into this without giving away information I don't want to, but like, how do I say this without, like, giving people information on me I don't want to give them? How do I, let's... I feel like this is something that needs elaboration on, but I can't provide that elaboration without giving away a bit too much personal information. So you'll all just have to, like, magically sort of believe that there's a reason for that, without me saying what that reason is. So have fun with that answer. Like, the most helpful answer there ever was. Like, actually, that's just going to come up a lot, because I do just have myself some limits on what information I'm willing to, like, let people have. And those limits are a bit tighter than what... I feel like my limits are a chunk more strict than what most people streaming are willing to give out as information. So we're just going to keep ending up in things where, like, trust me, there's a good reason for this. I just can't tell you what it is. And, like, there's just going to be tons of that. Well, alrighty. Wait, can I? Wait, oh, you can't place slabs on slabs with stuff above them. I think what's going on here is that it tries to place a slab on the block above the previous one, and then it moves down to being on the bottom slab. Like, that gets placed in the block above, then moved to connect with the other slab. Wait, can I? Oh, for goodness sakes, I can't place slabs here. I have to knock out these first. Now, this music I've got going in the background is actually just, like, really nice to have. It's like, now when I'm not talking, instead of just being, like, tension, it's something pleasant to listen to. Oh, wait, what was the last time you bowled? Fun question. I cannot even remember. Like, probably sometime before lockdown. Since the only times I throw up are when I get particularly sick. And, like, just not being around other humans prevented me from ever getting very sick. So it's been at least, like, 2 years? Like, it's actually been, like, a really long time. I can't even remember it. I guess it was in, like... I don't even know. I feel like... Was there... Oh, food. Okay. For a sec... Wait. I'm having... The Twitch player had a fun network error. Hopefully my stream hasn't just gone out. I should check that. The bitrate's still good. I think this is just an issue with like the browser having itself a bit of fun, probably. So I don't think I need to worry about that. Right. There's a spider climbing around on my ceiling right now. It's actually kind of a funny looking spider. This might sound a bit odd, but it, like, kind of shaped like a caterpillar. It's just like a little fluff ball. And it's just like up there vibing on the ceiling. It's actually surprisingly recently that I had learned to just like deal with spiders being near me. Since for a long time it just being there actually would have alarmed me somewhat. But I guess recently I've just gotten used to accepting when they're nearby if they aren't bothering me, just not caring. Oh, but come on, mate. I have to replace this entire stack of slabs because that one didn't place properly. Right. It's still on that last question. Wait, can I? Am I glitching into these? I'm glitching into the slabs. Okay, that's a bit funny. Okay. Let's try this again. But this time without misplacing a slab so that I have to redo the entire column. Alrighty. Do you enjoy shopping? No, not really. Like, I think this is one of the opinions I inherited from my parents, that like, just going out and buying things for fun isn't something I look at as being like a good idea. Since it's like, you shouldn't just go out and spend money on random things as what you do for enjoyment, because like, you're just getting rid of your money. And like, just shopping is something to do for fun. Like, not my thing. Oh, here's the mine. One. How should I work with this? What if I just like stuck some slabs here, something like this? Okay, yeah. And then this can go and like connect up to the main path, so this works. And that is me out of slabs. I need to go link some more cobble. This is actually coming along nicely, I'd say. Like, this is the first time I've actually felt like I'm making some progress in this world. Like, maybe I should... Alright, I should change this to stairs instead of slabs. Slabs are a bit awkward here. Alrighty. Oh, this sounds like Zelda music. So it is Wild Arms Alter Code F Music 26 Adelheid Castletown. Huh. This feels like it should be like in the background of a montage of me doing something. Like, it feels like this should be the bit where like it just goes into a montage of me like building up an entire kingdom or something, and then it pops out of the end of the massage and I'm just like, I don't know, the ruler of everything or whatever. That is, yeah, I am aware of the song with that name. Okay, I was just humming random Zelda music there. I forgot to bring cobble for stays. Yeah, this music is a vibe. It's like nice. Do you think Twitch will be around in 15 years? I have no clue. 15 years is a long time. Like, just take a moment and think about the state of the internet way back in 15 years ago, 2007. Like, what was even popular in 2007? I don't even know. So it's like, the difference between 2007 internet and 2022 internet could very well be the same as the difference between 2022 internet. What on earth is the state? Like, that could very well be the same as the difference between 2022 and, like, after 2037 internet. So, I think Twitch will, like, as a business, it will definitely attempt to keep itself around. So it's a matter of if it succeeds. And I'd say there's really no way of judging that. Like, I don't work at the company, I don't know what's going on internally. I don't know if it's well managed and prepared for the future or anything. So it could be around in 15 years. 1, 2... Oh, actually, I should check, what's it called? Yeah. So, if you don't know already, I submitted an application, the day before yesterday? I don't know, my sense of time's completely destroyed because of my horrible sleep schedule. But sometime in the last few days, I submitted an application to join the spell SMP, so let's see if that has been accepted or not. SMP, people have joined anything in general chat. There's a whole lot. Not whitelisted. One says whitelist me. Someone got the IP leaked to them and wants to be whitelisted. They're all gossiping about someone they're calling annoying. There was a whole lot of chatting in general, but nothing important. Okay. Applications, someone applied. Yes, accept my thing. Alright, there's someone called Cheesy or something submitted an application. Let's see what this is.
Yeah, this is me. And I, and the right here, is a member.
Yeah, it's just straight up an application. There's nothing interesting with it. Let's see. Apparently people like 30 FOV replay mod. Let's see. Yeah, I have no clue if I've gotten in, like, it's really hard to judge if mine was, like, quality enough for them to like it. But, you know, hopefully I did. I think they're announcing who got in today or tomorrow. Okay, why is the Lord of the Rings trilogy the best movies ever made? No clue, never seen them. Apparently people like them a lot. So, yep. Alrighty, I'm going to go in a tad of a break here. Enjoy this be back soon screen. Oh, this time we've got actual music over it, that's good. And already, I will be back soon. Alrighty, I am back. So, let's see, hopefully I wasn't gone for too long. I forgot to check the clock, so I've no clue actually how long I was gone. So, yep, wait, where's the music stopped? Ah, YouTube just paused it to be annoying. So, hopefully it starts going here. Why is it still on the back soon screen? Oops, what? Okay, it just took a bit to update. I am going to be a moment before I get back to the questions because my voice is a bit hoarse and I should sip some water. Alrighty. My next question, if you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be? That is definitely an interesting question right there. You know, for some reason just going on that fake, like, it just turned my mind into porridge. Like, I leave for a few minutes, come back, suddenly just have no clue what I'm talking about. So, alright, let's just answer the question here. If you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be? I would say, the thing is, like, if you think about it, like, actually experiencing that would probably be a kind of awkward experience. But saying we ignore that, probably someone interesting, like, it would be really interesting to see, like, say, for example, how Mr. Beast, like, what he does on a daily basis to, like, make videos. So it would probably be someone like that. He's like, just, well, obviously, what makes Mr. Beast interesting as a person? Aside from, you know, since I don't actually know him, I don't know what it's like to talk to him. But, like, just thinking about it, what's interesting about what he does is that, like, he's pretty much just reached, like, the, like, full extent of what any person who makes YouTube videos is aiming for, in a way. Like, he is, like, just making the biggest and the best videos that are on the website right now. Just seeing how he does that would be super interesting. So if I had to choose a person for that, that's who it would be. Okay. This raking grass blocks noise, for some reason it is just my ears have decided that they do not like it anymore. And it's like, what on earth am I doing here? Okay then. Yeah, it's just, I leave for 5 minutes, come back, feels like I've aged 10 years. Like, I've just become middle-aged. My brain is porridge. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Just, like, random noises annoy me. Hey, this is some interesting music we've got going here. What's this from? This is Lost Odyssey original soundtrack. So, yeah, like, straight up just all of the games that this music has been from, I've never heard of. My best guess is that they're all Nintendo games that I just haven't heard of because I don't have Nintendo consoles. Like, there have been times in the past when I've wanted to have a Nintendo console, but, like, you don't just go and convince your parents, as I was probably a middle schooler at the time, like, you do not just go and convince your parents that it's a good idea to spend $500 on a console. You know, sometimes you just see a question and you look at it, you give it a good hard stare, a look over, and then you decide, maybe my life would have been better if I just never heard this question in the first place. And of course, if you could magically have anything come out of your belly button, what would it be? Obviously. Obviously, that's the question that comes up. Wait, what? How was I able to put a sapling here? Look at that! Wait, will these actually grow? Okay, if these actually grow, that'll be super funny. It doesn't look like they're going to, but, like, still, it would be quite funny. Alright, I'm just going to leave those there and see what happens. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of interesting bugs in this version. Alright, if you were a wrestler, what would be your theme song? You know, I think I'd just be that one wrestler who was really annoying and demanded that every time they walk into the ring, it's never gonna give you up plays. Like, and it would just turn into this weird thing where all the fans, like, actually really liked hearing Never Gonna Give You Up when their favorite wrestler walked into the ring. And it would just... everyone on the outside would just be so confused as to, like, why it was even a thing. But, like, that is definitely my sense of humor there. I would convince a whole crowd of people to start cheering every time they heard Rick Astley on, like, playing. Like, this is... oh. This is a bit of a funny shaped tree we've got right here. You don't really get big trees like this in modern Minecraft. The branches are laid out in a bit of an odd way. That's like... huh. Maybe I'm just imagining it. I can't even remember the last time I did mine one of these large trees. You know, it's weird being up here in the canopy. Like, just looking down on all this stuff, it's a weird feeling. Like, it feels like I'm looking in on... that's a creeper! It feels like I'm looking in on something, just staring down at that... all the torches on the ground. Like... huh. Well, that sounds like the start of a fanfiction, now that I'm thinking about it, so... you know what, let's just move on here. And I am at... okay, I'm not actually at the end of my 6, since I've got a whole lot of logs to make more of them, so... you're not going to have to go back and make more. And also, I'm in the process of chopping down a tree. I think I'm just going to have to lure that creeper out into the ocean and make it blow up there, so it doesn't damage anything. Because I can't actually damage creepers in this version, or anything, because, like, in this version of Minecraft, servers didn't properly track the health of things. Or, like, they didn't communicate it with the client properly, I think is the issue. So, like, I can't actually go up and punch a creeper or anything like that. But it can still go and blow stuff up, and I don't want a creepy hole. Wait, is there a single piece of wood somewhere in there that's stopping this from decaying? Oh wait, I need to- oh! Creeper! Creeper hole. You know, that's what I was trying to avoid, but okay. Now I get to repair some trees, I guess. Well, I'm going to do the classic method of the hollow creeper hole. This is definitely going to become a mob spawner at some point in the future. But you know what? That sounds like a bit of a future problem, and not a present problem. Actually, I don't need to fill in most of it, since I was already going to be digging it out. So, in a way, that creeper is actually helping me by doing that. Alrighty. I am going to have to probably replant a whole bunch of trees along here just to make it so, like, it's not just desolate after I put the path through. I do feel like this is just going to... Well, I wouldn't be surprised if I just kept steadily adding more and more trees over time, and eventually it just got, like, comically thick of trees. Like, that would be pretty funny. I've got something in my eye. Right, so next question. Right, do you want to become a full-time streamer? This is another one of those, well, kind of, answers. So, in terms of... Right, if we look at this question, what it's really asking is, like, as a job, what, like, is the job that you want to have being a streamer? So the way I look at this, as a job, I would take being a streamer. It's better than a whole lot of other jobs. Is it the job I would take? There are a whole lot of interesting jobs you could get, like, you could go, like, it is possible to go out and dedicate yourself to, like, studying mathematics or something. Like, that could actually be a good thing to do. At the same time, it's like, content creation as a whole is, like, it is definitely a field I am going to pursue. I have no clue if I'll make it as an actual job, like, if I'll do that well, but it's definitely something I'm going to pursue as best I can. Anyways, in terms of streaming specifically, streaming versus YouTube videos is, like, a bit of a thing. And I don't really have an opinion on that, since, like, I'm still pretty much a beginner in both of those categories, streaming and YouTube videos, so... Now I've got to count out some cobblestone here. Okay. But, like, I'm pretty new to both of those things, streaming and videos, so I can't really accurately judge what I think of both of them. Like, I feel like streaming, in at least some ways, is more pleasant, just because, like, with videos, like, you record the video, but really, most of the time making a YouTube video is spent slowly going insane as you, like, try to figure out how you want to edit it. And then, like, once you've edited it, like, figuring out, like, just watching through the whole thing going, huh, I think this could be better. And then, like, improving that thing. Whatever it is that could be improved. Like, streaming is something that, like, it's obviously not just easy, otherwise everyone would just be a professional at it. But the difference with streaming, you have to, like, it's more consideration, like, each time, how can I make my stream better? Than YouTube, it's more of, like, a, like, whirlpool you slowly get sucked down. It's like, every video, you watch it and you go, like, this just is not a good video, this is a problem. Like, do I want to re-record this entire segment to remove the problem? Or do I want to upload it? Like, so right now I probably tend to be more leaning towards streaming, but at the same time I do still like the idea of making videos, and I do still at least somewhat enjoy the process. So, like, it's really hard to judge. So, basically, do you want to be a streamer? Yes, asterisk, either that or making YouTube videos. Or both. Anyways, next question. Do you think people will go to Mars in your lifetime? Yes, there's an entire company, like SpaceX, that is going out and, like, their only goal is to go stick a person on Mars. Like, their goal is to do it in, like, the next 10 years or something. And I'm assuming I'll live more than 10 years, so, you know, even if they miss their deadline pretty severely, it'll probably still be within my lifetime. Like, it would take just everything completely falling apart and then, like, nobody being able to run a functioning business, or, like, nobody having money to spare anymore, for it to just not happen. It's like, all the billionaires are trying to make it happen. So the only way it doesn't happen is if all the billionaires, for one reason or another, lose the means to make it happen. So, like, how would that happen? It was like the entire economy would just have to implode for them to not be able to keep pursuing that goal. Anyways, what is an underrated video game? Alrighty. I don't actually play just tons of different games. I think one you could argue is underrated is Scrap Mechanic, because, like, it's... if you've heard of it, if you haven't heard of it, it's vaguely similar to Minecraft, but the important difference is that, like, you can actually make moving contraptions with, like, wheels and pistons and stuff. Like, you can make a car that drives around and whatnot with its own physics. Like, it's actually really cool when you want to just go and make some idea you had. Like, Scrap Mechanic is usually the game to do it in. I think, realistically, most people probably just don't enjoy the idea of going out and figuring out how to make whatever weird thing work. I think it might just be a bit niche, and just by coincidence, I'm one of the people in that niche that enjoys it. So, maybe not underrated, but, like, I think I can see why a lot of people wouldn't want to play it. But it's still something I think is cool. Like, in terms of underrated overall, like, I'm going to complain a bit here. I find it a bit silly how often people, like, define major parts of their personalities as, like, oh, I think this game, or this movie is better than everyone else does, I'm so cool, you all suck. Oh, you all uncultured swines. You fail to see why this is actually a bad movie and you all like it. You are all morons. You all shouldn't be allowed to watch movies. Like, why would you define your personality based on that level of stuff? It's just like... it doesn't say anything about you as a person, it's just a bunch of people arguing about the pros and cons of different movies for, like, no reason whatsoever. Like, why? Why would you even care that much? There just is no good reason to do that. So that's my complaint on the overrated, underrated thing. Right, I've got to go deal with real life. 1 minute. Alrighty. Next question that's popped up. Who is the greatest musician that ever lived? What on earth is that supposed to mean? Like I've just gone off and got a mental index of musicians? And, like, how do you even define what makes a musician great? Like, is it just, like... because there are a lot of musicians that people would say sucked now that were super liked when they were actually making music. So, like, does that make them not great? Like, there have been a whole lot of really good musicians over time. But what is the definition of a great musician? Like, if you just say musicians you like, that's just daft and a bit, like, bit egotistical for my taste. So, like, I don't know. Maybe a reasonable definition would be, like, a musician who most improved their craft from their predecessors. But I do not, like, know anywhere near that amount of musical history, so I cannot give a useful answer on that. This just goes back into what I was saying. I think, like, caring that much about, like, rating different things and what things are good and bad, like, I don't see a point in it. Like, people define so much of their personalities on that sort of stuff, but at the same time, it's like, it feels like it's just sort of something you do to, like, fill space in your head and make it sort of look like you have interesting opinions. Like, that's... But, like, the way I see it, just liking or disliking something isn't really just a meaningful thing about a person. Like, just think how much more impressive it is to, like, or, well, actually, just, like, I don't know, I'm not sure where I'm really going with that, but it just feels like there should be something that's more about you than just a fairly arbitrary classification of what you like and dislike. Liking or disliking a certain movie isn't even, like, a super reliable indication of personality. It's like, it almost feels like people just go through phases of liking and disliking different movies, and then they get super, like, elitist about what movies they do and don't like, and how their taste in movies makes them so much better. But, like, yeah. Alright, next question. Hopefully less stuff I want to complain about this time. What is your favorite candy? I haven't actually had much candy recently. At this point, I'll basically just take anything with sugar in it. Like, I think for me, the ideal candy would probably just be something that, like, it tastes reasonably good, and it's easy to eat slowly, because, like, if you can take more time to appreciate a candy with the same amount of sugar, then, like, it's just more enjoyment for the same toll on your health. So, that is what I would call, like, just a good candy. I think most people probably, well, if you judge it based on, like, taste and, like, texture and all that stuff, like, you know, I shouldn't have built this so far out. I should have left more room for the guardhouse. Like, what if I do... Like, what if I cut it off here and leave the rest of it to be the guardhouse? I think, you hope this should work reasonably well. So, in terms of, like, I haven't really thought much about which candy I just enjoy the most, but in terms of candy that is hard to stop eating, M&Ms, I have no clue why, but, like, they've just, like, made something that is hard to stop eating, so in a way, I would say that probably makes it a good candy, because of, like, you are enjoying something when you're finding it hard to stop most of the time. Well, it looks like we have got a pretty solid path going here. I think the next step is to start on that fort. Maybe I should add some logs into its walls as, like, make it a bit more interesting looking. You know what, I'm just going to build the outside of it first as, like, straight up a box, then I'll do interesting things with it. Right, the next question up. Have you ever cracked open a pinata? I think I might have when I was like 5 at some random person's birthday party. I don't actually remember. But like, I'm pretty sure I've at least seen a pinata getting cracked open. I'm not sure if I was the one doing the cracking open of the pinata, but I've at least seen it happen. Where's my inventory? How's all the stuff just collect in my inventory? There's so much random stuff. Music sounds like it's out of a Lifesteal SMP video. Is Midna's Desperate Hour, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Right, this is the first actual Legend of Zelda music there's been on here, and I have the wrong tab open with the stream. That's... oops. I had Streamlabs open instead of the stream overview on my other monitor. Alrighty. Let's see. What is there to talk about? Oh, because it's getting dark in real life and it's nighttime in Minecraft at the same time. Why didn't I pick up any cobble? But because it's getting dark in real life and in Minecraft at the same time, now my brain has just, like, accepted that it's nighttime. Like, it being night in Minecraft, my brain treats the same as it being night in real life. So now I'm starting to feel like, oh, it's late, I should go to bed soon. But what's funny about that is I've only been awake for 4 hours. Like... it is not time to go to bed yet at all. Well, it is, kind of. It is getting late, but, like, 4 hours awake, go back to sleep. That doesn't sound pleasant. That sounds like I'd just be laying there awake for, like, 6 hours or something. And I have just had a lot of those nights where I just can't fall asleep. They really suck. The first maybe 2 hours are usually tolerable, you've got things on your mind to think of. But then after that, when it just keeps going, like, you don't stop just being awake for no reason. Like, that is not a fun experience. Hey, Skillabony. What a... oi, stop speed hacking, Drov. Right, let's see what I've got to do with this building. Okay, that was a glitch. Alright, I'm just going to lay out, like, the foundation of it, then decide where the windows should go. And then once I've done, like, the windows, that's when I decide, like, other stuff. Actually, what if I used oak wood slabs for the floor of this? Like... what if... right, I'm going to lift all of this up by a block so that I don't have to add stairs down into it. So... ah, alright. I think it just feels like adding oak wood slabs as floor to this. Just feels like the thing to do. So let's see. I think maybe if I break this here, then yeah, this is a decent layout. And then just wrap around the other side with this. You know, this feels like it should have a base. Wait, what this feels like what I should do, I should keep just adding rooms onto this, and just eventually have, like, a full building with like multiple rooms and a basement and such. Like right here, this is obviously only one room. But then like, what if I stacked a room on top of it? What if I built a room over that way? And, like, what if I built a bit into this bit of ocean right here? Oh, one option would be to just like only have one or two rooms on the surface. Like, only have a small, like, only have a small building on the surface but have a really cool underground area. I like the sound of that. Well, either way, it doesn't matter the whole time right now what I do because it's like, nowhere near being done. But it's useful to have these ideas. Alright, let's see. What if... what if I just did like this? How does this feel from the inside? Like, if I stick some blocks here and stand on it, like... Should I have it like this? Closed off. More satisfying having it open? Maybe I should just make it mirror the layout on the back. Are there iron bars in this version? They could be used. I feel like they weren't added until beta, I guess. I think there are minecarts. Right, there were minecarts in this version. I think back, like, when this was the current version of Minecraft, since there's no sprinting or lifers, like, minecarts might actually have been useful. Compared to now, they just are not. Right, I'm going to go with this, since I'd prefer one 2-block wide window to two 1-block wide windows. So, alrighty. I think our next step here... Well, obviously decorating the outside needs to be done at some point, but we can conveniently ignore that that's a thing for now. I think I'm going to do something like this. Make all the windows 2 blocks tall. Like, it just... I don't know, it just feels like a nice thing to do. Like how it should be arranged. Like, the question thing popped up with, can you hold your breath more than 60 seconds? No. I've tried, but my limit is pretty much always around 30. Well, I should embed a crafting table into the floor, that would be cool. Wait, what? What? Is this a slab? What is this? It's a pressure plate. Okay. Are they? Wait, are they straight up not slabs here? Wait, let's Google this. General wood slabs added to... One of the pop-up results was the Constitution. Like, when were wood slabs added to the Constitution? So, yeah, you know, my favorite part, like, the 69th Amendment, wood slabs, like, it's just that. Alrighty, stone slabs were added in. Alright, so, if we want sandstone, wood, or cobblestone slabs, that's not until beta 1.3. So, I guess we're just going to use normal wood here? Alright, here's an idea. What if we... Alright. What if we did most of the floor as just wood, but added a bit of a perimeter out of stone slabs? So, like, you get something like this, and then I think this is at least a decent way to do it. We might run out of slabs here, but well, hopefully not. Alrighty. So, okay, do you like pineapple on pizza? I've never tried it, but this is another of those things where it's like people really strongly liking or disliking something is like just something they do because it's like just to be their personality. And I definitely have like done that myself before. But at this point I try to be careful not to act like that, since I do think it's pretty immature to be like, oh my goodness, I hate pineapple on pizza. You heretics, go die in a hole. Or just the opposite of like, oh my goodness, I love pineapple on pizza. You heretics, go die in a hole. Like both, like I definitely did do a whole lot of that myself when I was younger. That's the sort of thing, like, I've just gotten really tired of hearing just constantly those sorts of arguments. And, like, it's just gotten annoying to me. And actually, I feel like I should make this 4 blocks wider so it's a complete square. Actually, since it feels a bit small in here. Actually, what if I pulled a bit of a trick? What if I made one side of the building wider? Like, what if I made it wide this way, but not that way? Or, what if I extended it 2 blocks into the ocean on this side, so it would be 6 blocks wide along here, and then I wrapped it around a bit? Or, what if I didn't do that and I used this narrow hallway to contain a staircase? Okay, I like that idea. That's what I'm going to do. So we get our wood in here. And then... oh, we don't have wood slabs. That's annoying. Hopefully we at least have wood stays. Okay, we do have these. You know what? I do actually... what? Come on. I do actually still want to be able to use slabs at some point. So I'm just going to do I just need to reconnect? I think, what if I just alternate between slabs and... why? Like, game, why? You know what, I'm just going to reboot the server and hope it fixes the problem. Right, but what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to alternate between stairs and full blocks, so that, like, I can just switch it to slabs if we ever update to beta 1.3. So, yep, that's that happening. The server should be rebooting about now. Would you ride on a hippo if you had the chance? Possibly. It depends on, like, the circumstances of it. If it was like, I don't know how hippos work. Like, I don't know if there's such a thing as hippos that have been, like, that know how to deal with humans. Or if it's all just a situation of, like, you'd be jumping on a wild hippo and, like, hoping it doesn't get too mad at you. So, the answer there would be research. Okay, this is getting annoying. I am going to Google the problem. Minecraft alpha typos can't make days. Alright, no Google results, so... What if I mine it with a pickaxe? What on earth is that about? Okay. Do I need to face the right direction? Do I need to, like... You just need to sort of, like, click on it and... Like, what on earth is this? What? So to break them, you only need to click on the bottom half of the block? The top doesn't work? Okay, so... Okay. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, this is going to be a bit annoying to build. We can already tell that much. The stove just did this. Really, stove? Okay, this is going to take a while. Alright, next question. What was the best job you ever had? I have not had jobs, so there was none. Why? Why is it doing this? Are you kidding me? Why does it want so badly to face in that direction? And where did I leave my crafting table? Oh, here it is. Well... Why? It refuses to face in any direction other than this one. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to use stairs, I'm just going to use full blocks. And then I can just put in stairs later when they aren't bugged. This is really annoying. Oh, I shouldn't be using a pickaxe on it. It's probably breaking the pickaxe super quickly too. Alright, who even knows how long this is going to take to finish? Is water... Really? So, remember how I was talking about those questions that, like, people argue over the answers to, like, as a core part of their personality, just for the sake of it? When there's no real meaning in the question, is water wet? You know what, I have an opinion on this question, but I'm not even going to say it, because I think arguing over this stuff is completely daft and a complete waste of time. Hopefully I don't get blown up by a creeper here. Actually, this is descending way too slowly. I don't want to take up this much space, so I'm just going to switch it to a direct going down like this. So... I think if I just get like this far, this should be probably far enough. Oh, there's some iron. So... You know, I say that, but actually, I feel like I should make it go a block farther just to leave some spare room. I just might do it with a pickaxe. Alrighty, so what we're going to do here, we're going to just build the building to loop around the end like this. Oh, there's some chickens. You know, I showed this earlier. I've gotten some eggs from the chickens running around. But, like, they don't even spawn chickens. They just... You see what I just... Wait, what? I messed this up. I need to shift everything by a block. Alrighty. So, it's not going to... These all blocks here... These are going to be slabs. I'm going to do it like this. And then the actual walls will be one block to the side of this. And obviously we ran out of slabs, but okay, at least this time we do have cobblestone, so we don't have to just run right all the way back to the chest room. So just some slabbies here. That was too many slabs. I think I'm just like slowly collecting spare slabs in that junk chest in the slab room. So I'm probably eventually going to have like an actual amount of them in there that I can use for something. Alright. Oh, it's back to this one. If you were a wrestler, what would be your theme song? So you've been through this already, it's never gonna give you up. Because, you know, who doesn't want to troll audiences by playing that? Excuse me, chicken. Have I even been... I don't think I've picked up any of the items from breaking that along there. Where'd they even go? Huh. Right, so I'm going to actually remove this bit and just turn it into part of the wall. Or should I do that? What if I integrated it into the wall somehow? Like, what if I just left it there? You know what, I have no clue what I'm doing with that, but I'll just leave the blocks there and figure it out later. Wait, why is the music stopped? Obviously, YouTube just... sometimes... I have no clue why. YouTube sometimes just auto-pauses it and pops up, "Are you still watching?" Like, it's just annoying. And, like, there are things like, imagine you're listening to that, like, 10 hours of relaxing sleep music, having it just stop every half hour and force you to wake up and, like, click the button again is, you know, it kind of removes the point of that. So... Right, and what I'm doing here, I've realized I placed all of these slabs one block too low, so I'm going right back through and putting them all one block higher again. So we are going to have like this rim of cobblestone here. I should stick torches back on these. And then we've got our slabs here. Right, and I should put these back too for the sake of it. I'm out of slabs again. Alright. Of course, just place a log there. So in terms of actually, like, the layout of this, what am I going to do here? Oh, at some point I should go get sand and turn it into glass panes for these windows. Actually, glass panes sounds like something that would have been added during beta, so we probably don't have access to them. Like, what have I got along here? What if... I have no clue how I would go about integrating that wall into the actual building. So, that's something I probably just will not do then. Anyways... what can I do along here? I think I'm going to need a double window somewhere in here, so... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 2... Wait, no, not actually. 2, 3, 1, 2... Right, it's going to be a double column, not a double window. I think this here is working. Oh, this is going to be a really weird looking building. It's like, I'm just not paying tons of attention to how it's laid out. So we're going to just get a few weird bits, like the windows are probably going to clash a bit. Um, you know, this intersection is just really awkward to deal with. How does it look from the inside? Like, from the inside, anything other than cobblestone looks weird. From the outside, anything other than normal path looks kind of weird. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to remove this part of the wall and turn it into cobblestone. I definitely could try to make them work together, or just move this entire segment one block to the side. But I'm just not going to bother with doing that. So, we've got this instead. Oh, this column here actually, with the double column, actually lines up well with the entrance. That's nice. What we've got yourselves a path here. It comes along, slides up along the edge of this building. The building looks at least decent. Some fancy colored wool could be cool. Then you come in here. You've got a whole lot of snow on the floor. But other than that, it looks like this is all reasonably and sensible layout. Then you've just got this main room here, then the sort of sneaky staircase room where you can go down to whatever I may or may not put there in the future. Alrighty. I'm going to stop paying attention to those questions up there since they've gotten a bit monotonous. There's the... here it is. Just turn that off. I'm just going to close the window on here. Actually, I'm not going to do that in case I want to look at it in the future, but... alrighty. This has been going on for 2 hours, so... it is beginning to feel like I should probably stop pretty soon. let's see. Right, for my last bit, I'm going to... wait, do boats? I think I remember boats not working, which is annoying. But if I put a boat here... okay. This is not going to work. Oh wait, in these old versions you right-click to get out of boats, you don't just left shift. Huh. And obviously more of these ghost items. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go off in a random direction and try to get out of view of this main area. And then once I'm somewhere that mining sand won't make it look ugly from where I'm actually building, then I will do the actual sand mining. There's a lot of sand here, but I don't want to make the whole area look weird. So I think I'll just pop along down this way and use some sand. I think maybe I'll go just a bit farther to, like, get out of... just so, like, randomly wandering around, like, at my base, I won't just run into mined sand. I just need to remember how to get back is the only, I guess, risk here. Right, there's a beach up this way, so maybe I can get some sand off here. Oh, this is all gravel. Okay, here's some sand. Now, I can just yoink this, and the only challenge is going to be finding a way to get back. So, I think I'll just get, like, a stack of the stuff. You know, I'm pretty sure glass panes just didn't exist in this version, so probably going to have to settle for normal glass. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point, actually, no, there were non-cube shaped blocks. You had your signs and your ladders and your slabs and stairs. So it's not like, what's the word? It's not like you just couldn't get non-cube shaped blocks in this version. I think, what's the word? Oh yeah, glass panes probably just weren't a thing. Alrighty, I think this should definitely be enough sand. Well, actually, I'm not completely certain that it's going to be enough, but I'm just going to hope it is. now on to other hoping that I can actually find the way back. Oh, he's a pig. And this is obviously the bit where my voice is getting a bit rough. So is it... I think it's through here. I'm not super sure, but I think it's down this way. I think I just go through here and then go a bit to the right and pass another island, and then that's how you get back. So... hopefully the house just comes into view soon. It should be right along here somewhere. This music playing right now almost sounds like something you'd hear in a Clown Piece video. Okay, I am... Oh, there's the pillar. Oh, there's the fort. Alright, we found it. So, let's see. At this point, to continue, I think it's just a matter of smelting up a whole ton of glass, which is not really something I want to bother to do on stream, since, like, I'm running out of ideas of things to talk about, and, like, you know, just watching glass smelt, not super interesting. So let's see. 1, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the majority of the coal in mine. Something a bit odd I've noticed in this version. When you finish smelting a whole bunch of stuff, the last item has never smelted. Like, if you put 3 coal and 24 items, there will be all the coal used up, 23 items smelted, 1 item not smelted. It's just always like that. I guess that's just a bug, but I haven't actually got any clue. So, yep. Alrighty. I think... so I should check anything on the spell SMP applications. Nothing of note seems to be happening. I think... yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on, but none of it's actually important to me. I thought they were announcing the new members today, but it is very late, no matter what time zone you're in, at least US time zones. I think it'll just be tomorrow when they do that. So anyways, I'm going to end the stream here. I probably would go longer, but I'm out of ideas, so... yep.